Let the girls, let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hating on you with their friends. Girl, you got it.
Like, I don't think y'all understand. And I don't think y'all really, like, notice how many people that we talk to and interact with on a day-to-day really go through so many problems where they're suffering.
And, like, okay, see, I'm getting off topic. Okay, this is why I don't talk, because I get off topic. I am a certified yapper, y'all. Again, my name is Ebony. If you don't know, now you know. All right, y'all. So I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about how I pretty much got started into nails, because if you know me, you know my nails is always done. I love having crazy designs and stuff like that. But I'm going to really tell you about how I got into it. So I actually came from a strict background in a sense. My dad was very strict. My mother was not as much strict, but my dad was very strict, right? So my dad didn't think that I could have nails because, you know, it was too much. So when I started making my own money, I started getting my nails done, because I'm like, you can't tell me what to do with my money. Like, I work hard for this. So if this is something that I want to do to treat myself, I'm going to do it. So I would get my nails done after school, whatever the case may be. But I always hated it. Always hated it. Like, the way that they used to do your nails, you know, the chop shops, the chinos, they really don't give a fuck. So I was peeping at, like, designs was very minimum. You spending like $25 is really not a lot. But at the same time, it's like, why am I paying this if my nails is not going to last? So fast forward, I was doing my nails for about a year with the nail salon, and then I was just like, I was over it. I mean, I would get them done for like my birthday, certain things, but I always kept my nails done, right? So when I went to college, I actually bought like one of those Kiss kits, the little cheap ones. I think it was like $12. I spent $12 on it, and I went straight to my dorm and I went to go and do my nails. Like, upstate where I went to school at, there was no nail salons. The only nail salon that there was had negative reviews. So I was not about to go over there and get my nails serviced. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just figure it out myself. So I bought the little kit. I started doing my own nails. But you know, I was lazy. Like, it would take like 3 days for me to do my nails. So I really wasn't, you know, too hype about it. And not just that, my nails would be lumpy, they would be crazy looking, like, but they was on. So I was just, you know, doing them here about, you know, every once in a while, not all the time. But eventually I'm like, all right, fuck it, like I could do my nails. Like, so when I ended up moving off campus, I ended up starting to do my own nails more consistently. I started learning. I started like getting familiar. I started ordering stuff. I started just doing my nails and figuring out little things, watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. I would sit there for hours and hours and hours. COVID had hit, and I ended up wanting to do tattoos. Like, this is when I had got my first tattoo, which is this one. So I went and got that tattoo, and after I got that tattoo, like, I was just passionate. I wanted to find something, and it just so happened that COVID hit right after. So, like, I was bored. I had nothing to do but order shit on Amazon. So I ordered a tattoo gun and all the light skin and stuff like that, stuff that I could get myself started with tattooing. But when I got the stuff in the mail, like, and I actually tried to use it, it just wasn't the fit for me. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, if I can't do nails, if I can't do tattooing, I might as well like really invest my money into nails, which is what I did. So I invested like maybe like $150 into nail stuff. And I pretty much got real good at it. Like, not real good. I wasn't like a professional, but I was good enough to do people's nails. So I started taking clients, you know, in college. I ain't have no job all 4 years of me working there, except for my last year, technically. So my fourth year, that's when I worked. So all 3 years of college, I didn't have no job. I was just chilling, broke college student. I would come home in the summertime and on my breaks, and I would work. Like, I would work. And I worked at McDonald's at the time. I want y'all to know that, because McDonald's actually taught me a lot. And a lot of people say that jobs like that is not, you know, helpful. But if you really are in tune with working and getting experience and learning from jobs, then you would know fast food is what taught you, okay? Or any type of like small job where you really getting in the field. This is like fresh water, you know those jobs build you in a sense to be the type of person who works later on, like what you do later on, you know? So, because some people could stay in fast food, like if they enjoy it, they will stay in food. You know, some people will become chefs because of it. Some people, that kind of, it starts the baseline for what you want to do in your career, right? So, my senior year of college, I was like, you know, I got to pay for everything myself. I haven't worked. I have a job. I was a peer mentor in college where I would give, you know, advice, or I would just be there for, you know, conversation, help, guidance for freshmen, incoming freshmen, or freshmen that was actually in the fall semester into the spring semester. So I had that job on campus. That's what I was doing. And I was like, yo, I'm only getting paid. Actually, I wasn't even getting paid for that. It was only 2 credits. So each semester I was getting paid 2 credits to do that job. That's how college works, okay? Just know sometimes you will work for free, but they will give you a credit for working, okay? So, yeah, pretty much I was doing that job. It wasn't enough. You know, I didn't have no money still. So I was like, I got to pay for my senior stuff this year, whatever the case may be. But again, this is all during COVID. So I didn't know what was going to happen during COVID. So I was like, all right, I'm going to just get good at nails. I started doing nails. Again, I'm living off campus and stuff like that. And, shit. Actually, I feel like all of this stuff. No. Okay. I'm kind of skipping the line, but so yeah, COVID comes. I'm learning how to do nails. I'm getting real good at it, whatever the case may be. Like on myself, I'm not taking no clients at the time. I'm like, okay, whatever. I go home for the summer. I work at McDonald's. I save up a good amount of money, whatever the case may be. I come back to school, and now I'm like, fuck it. Like this year, I got the peer mentor job, and I'm like, I'ma just try to take nails a little serious. You know, it's fun. I'm putting in hours of you know, practicing and learning and video watching, and you know, I'm studying this shit for real on top of my classes, on top of peer mentoring, on top of doing stuff. So I was like, fuck it, I might as well invest my time and actually like figure it out. So I started posting. You know, I had a little cheap flyer that I made. I got a little name, whatever the case may be, and I started promoting it on Snapchat, because Snapchat at the time was what we was using to communicate, right? So I posted it on Snapchat. The girlies started coming in. The girlies wanted some service, so I started doing nails. Of course, you know, I had issues at the time, like, you know, paint wasn't lasting. But again, this is how you got to think of it when you're learning, especially when you're charging cheap prices. It's reasonable to have mistakes, and mistakes build you. Mistakes make you who you are. Mistakes let you know what you need to fix and what you need to work on and how you can get better. So without making mistakes, I wouldn't have learned. And being in the now also doesn't help you learn. So if I was in the now about the mistakes that I was making, chances is I would believe that I am as good as I want to be, but I'm not, because I'm in the now, you know? But so yeah, I started taking clients. I got really good. I got really good. Like for a beginner, I got really good. And for a college student who was also working, like a lot of times I was doing clients' nails. They was in class and I was in class, or I'm getting out of class and they're going to class, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it's COVID. So everything is through Zoom, through Teams. You know, we don't really have too much to go out to. So it's not like we have to go to campus. So, you know, I'm taking clients. I kid you not, as a beginner nail tech, I was making in college from going from $0, like nothing, to I want to say about maybe $100 a week or $120 a week. That's charging $25 per set, or depending on the length, $35, and I think I had 45. But at the same time, the 45, I wasn't charging for designs per se. So I wasn't charging for every single design. I was just charging for doing the nails, and I was doing my own little freestyles because I was trying to learn. So you know, the prices to me was reasonable, and it was getting me something. So again, I'm doing everything right. You know, I didn't have no issues with nail care, with people having issues with bacteria, with unsanitary products or anything. I didn't have none of those issues. Never did. And so I was like, all right, since I'm not having none of those issues, that means I'm learning correctly, you know? So I did that my whole senior year. Again, I graduated on time. I did peer mentoring. I was pretty much everywhere. I was a busy girl my senior year, but I really wanted to graduate on time. That was my goal. So I ended up graduating on time. And once I got out of college, I went straight to working into a nail salon. So we're going to talk about that. So again, when I graduated college, I pretty much was cool with this girl, and she got me a job in her sister's nail salon. I worked in a nail salon for a year and a half. With that nail salon, it was a lot of politics on the oldest person having more clientele, training the new people, the Spanish people getting all the Spanish client. It was pretty much politics all around. It was always something. The environment was very like toxic, but I kid you not, one thing about a toxic environment, a working environment, I promise you, everybody getting paid. Everybody's eating. Everybody. So I would see how like toxic it is, messy. It would be like little side things, this and another. But if you know me, you know I'm on my business. I really don't be in the politics. I don't speak Spanish, sadly, so it doesn't really help me. And I worked in a Spanish salon where everybody spoke Spanish. So I really, had to mind my business and just get over the fact that if somebody is speaking on me, like I would know. But at the same time, like the only way to respond would be with English and responding in ways that's, a little bit like hyperactive, a little bit, I'm upset, I'm a little mad, right? So, time passed by, I actually get really good. Really, really good now. Now I get like, I don't want to say professional, but I get professional level. Like I get really good at doing nails. A lot of clients, I had a lot of clients, a lot of my clientele came from word of mouth. So, I would do somebody's nails and then they would go and speak about me, which was really good. And I really appreciate all the clients that sat in my chair at the time because, it really helped me build character and build a personality and like conversations you would have with people. It was really cool just meeting a lot of different people. This was my first time in a situation where I'm sitting face to face and I'm having genuine conversations with people and learning people. So I did that and it was really fun. Again, I learned a lot about nails. I learned a lot about art. And just like, everybody has their own style. So every nail tech in the nail salon was different and every nail tech did good work. I will say that. Aside from like, the little things, people breaking nails and it was small things. It was never like big things. As you know, a salon is going to move the way that the salon will move. So it really wasn't a lot that was negative. It was just more so like the hours. I was working 6 days a week. I was very tired and I was working from 10:30 a.m. to sometimes 9 p.m. straight. And then on holidays, if there was Christmas or Thanksgiving, it was expected that we work 7 days a week. So it was just a lot. But, I was making good money, so I couldn't complain, right? But, again, I had my degree sitting in my back pocket, and I really wasn't utilizing it. So I was like, let me go ahead and apply to jobs. The environment was getting toxic, so I was like, let me go ahead and apply to jobs and see what's out there, like see what I could utilize my degree in. And, hopefully I benefit from it or I learn experience from it. So I started taking things like a life learning experience. You have to learn in what you're doing. You have to go places and you have to get the experience. So I ended up getting a job in the shelter. Again, I live in New York. So in New York, the shelter system, as you know, it is shitty. Like when I say terrible, it's terrible. And I don't know, I commend anybody who is in the shelter and who does make it through and get housing. But the shelter really taught me how to be humble and to always be grateful for the things that I had, because there's people out here who don't have. And I think I really needed to leave the nail salon environment to see that, because with the nail salon, everybody pretends that they have. All those girls, especially in this generation, all these girls have BBLs. All these girls got bust down to the crack hair, like, and I get it, cool. I do my lashes sometimes, I do my hair sometimes and stuff like that. But these girls riding around in Range Rovers and G-Wagons and Benzes, like, cool. But you in a hood. Like, you know, and it would just give you like that energy, like, yo, these are the people that I would never want to be like. So that's really why I had to get out of that environment, because like I don't want to be like y'all, and I don't want y'all to influence me to do things that I wouldn't want to do. Like, you know, they would say things sometimes about my body. Oh yeah, you know, you can go to the people that I have to get a BBL, or you know, you should just do like a tummy tuck or something. Like the little things, and it's like, but why would I alter myself to fit this dynamic? Like, why would this environment, like, why would I do that? Like, really make it make sense. And honestly, it scares me, because there's so many girls that's so easily influenced nowadays that will do it. Like, you know, what happened to putting in work? Like, I get it, there's a lot I could work on, but at the same time, it's like, why would I change myself because you don't like how I look? You feel me? Like, that's what you did to yourself, because you didn't like how you look. So now you feel you got to live your... All right, we're not going to speak on that, because that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation. But anyways, back to the shelter. So yeah, I started working in the shelter. I ended up working there also for a year and a half. Again, that job was really good experience on just humanity, on what people who are really at the bottom go through. And sometimes they're not at the bottom, they're just in a bad situation. And that was another thing that I learned. You know, because again, back to the nail salon, people come in there and they're not humble. And a lot of people will look at you like you're a worker, what you are. You're servicing them, you're providing a service, you're doing nails. Cool, but a lot of people will also look at you like, all right, well, you better do this the way that I want it. So like, you know, things like that, you started to see it even with the people that are going through it the worst. And a lot of these people are mentally ill and undiagnosed. And it would just make me think, like, how many people sat in my chair and was actually mentally ill and undiagnosed? Like, y'all, do y'all understand what this generation is about? Like, I don't think y'all understand. And I don't think y'all really, like, notice how many people that we talk to and interact with on a day-to-day really go through so many problems where they're suffering. And that's why I thought, you know, New York is really, like, full of angry people. Everybody's angry for a reason. And, like, okay, see, I'm getting off topic. Okay, this is why I don't talk, because I get off topic. I am a certified yapper, y'all. Again, my name is Ebony. If you don't know, now you know. You can tune into my lives. I have live every day. I try to be very consistent. I have lives. I talk about mad different stuff. I am who I am. Fuck it. Y'all just gonna have to see that.